Good evening and welcome to another episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, y'all, I just got home and I'm not coming on camera today because I'm looking mighty mad. Not mighty mad. Well, I am mighty mad, but mighty bad, okay? There you go, y'all. There you go. Alrighty. The Que-stead went down. Que-stead-Que went down. Let me tell you what happened, y'all. I guess I could say I didn't overdo it. I'm still trying to not admit it, okay? But what I did is what caused the problem, okay? The doctor was telling me that that a lot of people, he was telling me a lot of, well, I won't even go into the eclipse thing, but there, look online, excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Look online and pull up eclipse sickness. Some doctors are saying that that's not such a thing, and some doctors are saying that it is. And what it comes from, what it is actually is a lot of people who viewed the solar eclipse in totality have been getting sick and showing up at the hospitals and doctors because when they, you hold you're tilting your head back the whole time that you're watching the event. And of course, you're tilting your head back throughout the day as the partial eclipse begins and ends. Then you go into the totality for however many minutes. Then you go back into the partial. So people have been showing up with whiplash. People have been showing up with vertigo. People have been showing up, some with seizures, migraines. All these things have been happening. And so although some doctors say that this is not such a thing, but that's what it's been named, basically, from people who have experienced it. Well, guess who got their dose today? And I shouldn't have. And the doctor told me, because he was a believer in it, I told him that I viewed the solar eclipse. I think he asked me about it because I had on my eclipse shirt, okay? But I ended up going to the hospital. I'll get to that part in a minute about how that all came about. But he did ask if I viewed the total solar eclipse, and I told him yes. And so, okay, now let me back up to the story. I woke up, I went to bed early last night because I was extremely tired, and I went right to sleep, and I slept, and I woke up, let's see, my eyes popped open at approximately 7 o'clock a.m. Sun was up, it was daybreak and everything. Soon as my eyes open, first of all, I'm normally a tummy sleeper or I'll sleep on my side, and that's just automatic. I flip over on my tummy and I'm usually still either on my tummy or on my side when I wake up. I did that last night, but I woke up today on my back. And when I woke up on my back, my neck was all the way back, crooked. And so normally that has happened before, but not too often. But when it happened today, the moment my eyes popped open, the room was spinning. I'm like, okay, what is this? Then I flipped over real quick because I figured, okay, maybe it'll stop. I flipped over and it got worse. I was splacked out on my bed, on my stomach, with my arms and legs spread out, feeling like I was on a merry-go-round or on something, a wheel or something. So I said, well, let me lay here. I closed my eyes, and I could still feel the spinning even with my eyes closed, but it wasn't as bad. So I closed my eyes, and I said, I'm going to just lay here with my eyes closed for a little bit, and it should calm down on its own because I know this happened because of the way I slept. Open my eyes again, nothing. It's like every time I took a breath, the room would just spin. Then it got to the point where it made me nauseated. I mean, I never went any further than nausea, but that was very uncomfortable along with the vertigo. So after about 45 minutes of fighting, I was like, well, as much as I hate to, I called my sister. So when I called her, she questioned me, asked questions and stuff, asked if I had tried this, that, and the other. And I told her, yes, I've tried all that. I said, I wouldn't have called you had it not been to the point where I'm thinking I'm either having a stroke or my blood pressure could be up. I'm thinking, and my worst fear, I was thinking MS attack somewhat. But I told her, I was like, I have to assume this is a MS attack. I said, but a MS attack has never hit me with just vertigo. Vertigo is a symptom of MS, and usually it's caused by something else that has gone awry. For instance, if you have a lesion on your spine or a plaque on your spine, and your spine has affected your ability to walk or your ability to do other tasks, then vertigo may come into play because of that plaque on the spine. But a plaque on the spine is not going to just cause vertigo to happen first. So I figured, I said, this could be an MS attack because perhaps perhaps I have a plaque on my spine, and it just hasn't. I'm just not feeling it in the legs yet because I'm feeling all this dizziness right now. So I didn't rule it out. Okay, so my sister, once she realized how serious it was, she came right on over. So she got here at about 8:15. And so when she got here, my job was to try to raise up slowly. And, my bed is adjustable and everything. So I raised it up an inch at a time. And each time I raised it that inch, that vertigo would take off again. But I just kept my eyes closed. And finally, I got it to the point where the bed was raised up and it had me in a sitting position. Then the nausea kicked in again. I didn't feel the vertigo, but then I'm dealing with the nausea. It's like one was ping-ponging off of the other. When one thing ends, the next began. And the nausea, I have to say, that was kind of worse. It's nothing worse than being nauseated. Okay, so anyway, so the nausea kicked in, so I had to sit there like 30 minutes. It took 2 hours because my sister was like, I'm either going to call the ambulance. She was like, but if you can't get up and get yourself ready and get to the bathroom and all that, she was like, I'm gonna have to call the ambulance. And I was like, that's fine. At that point, I was like, do what you gotta do. I said, but at least let me try and let me finish trying. I said, I got a few other ideas up my sleeve. I said, and I'm gonna leave the bed elevated. So I had her to give me some salt because, salt will stave nausea because I didn't have any Zofran on hand, and the salt did work. So then after that was phase 2. Now that the vertigo had ended with me in the sitting position, I knew I could proceed. So then I swung my legs out the bed. I have a bed 2-stepper. So it's like a stepper that you step up, and it puts me up to the height of the bed because my bed is real tall. One day I'll show it to you guys. You may have seen it already if you watched my early video when I did the tour of my home. But anyway, so when I sat up and put my feet on the stepper, I had no vertigo, no nausea. So I'm like, okay, I can keep going here. So then I got my walker because my sister had brought my walker in the room. I held on to it and I walked to the bathroom, did everything I needed to do in there. And then I walked up to the front where my sister was. She was in the kitchen washing a few dishes that I had left in the sink. I told her I was too tired to do them last night because we usually do dishes, both of us, before we go to bed, and we don't leave a sink, full of dishes. But I did last night. It was like only 4 things. And so she was washing those up. So I sat down on the couch and I told her, I said, I'm going to take my blood pressure. I said, and I'm going to also, sit here and see if whatever this is will subside on its own. And I wanted to look for my Antivert, which is a pill that is used to treat vertigo. Okay, so as soon as I bent down to look for the Antivert, of course, the dizzy spell happened again. So I had to wait for it to subside. Then I had to wait for the nausea to clear. And then I ate some more salt. Then I took my blood pressure. And then from there, I waited like another 30 minutes. Then I finally got, into the bathroom to get ready. So after I got ready, it was time for us to go to the hospital. So I get to the hospital and everything. And the first thing they did was check my heart. They wanted to make sure my heart was okay. And it was. So after that testing, they said, well, we're going to do a CAT scan with contrast of your head, neck, ears, and just to make sure that, there's nothing else going on in your head like a tumor or something like that. aneurysm. So they ended up not doing the CAT scan because they sent the specialist over, and he came over, and he was the one who mentioned the eclipse. And then he asked if there were any activities I had done since the eclipse, and I told him, yes, I gathered 6 bags of sticks yesterday. I said I assisted my friend with building my greenhouse. I said, and then also I dragged some things to the curb. He said, was you bending and tilting? I was like, yes, I was. For the bottom row, JD and I had to bend. The middle row, we had to just stare straight. And the top row, we had to tilt our heads back. He said, all that extra bending and tilting. He said, you have BVV. B is either BVV as in Victor, Victor, or is V as in Victor, BB, Bonnie, Bonnie. I don't know. But anyway, he said, your fluid, he said the fluid in between your ears have shifted. He said, and that will cause you your equilibrium, or I forget what it's called. But he said it'll cause you to be dizzy, off balance, the whole 9 yards. And he said the way you described it, and the way when you told me how long it lasts and everything, he said, I don't believe it's an MS attack either. He said, I'm almost certain that it's BVV. We'll just call it BVV for the sake of time here. So he said, we're going to give you an extra strong antivert. So they gave me a 25 milligram. I usually take the 12 milligram antivert, and I take the generic meclizine. Hold on. There we go. Meclizine. I take 12.5. And I usually cut that in half because it does make you sleepy and drowsy and high, especially the non-generic one. But the generic one has some of the same effects. So he gave me a 25 milligram, which is double that of the true meclizine that's non-generic. So within 30 minutes, I was home free. I was doing good. And so he canceled. We ended up not even doing the CAT scan because we knew what it was. I was very satisfied with the diagnosis, and so was he. And then he did all the MS tests. I had to squeeze his fingers. I had to do the walk once I could walk again. You know, once the vertigo had subsided. I had to push my foot up against his hand, that type of thing. He said, oh, you're very strong. Those tests I did not pass in December when I did have the MS attack. So anyway, after that was over with and I didn't have to do the CAT scan, he released me. So I got home at about 7 o'clock this evening, and it's about 7:30 now. So I'm just sitting here resting. But we are going to walk to the room. I'm going to show y'all something different that I did, and then I'm going to get off of here. First of all, my friend came back today, and she was concerned because she knocked at the door. My car was here, and she was concerned that I was in here needing help, and that's true. So she knows that I'm fine, though, because she texted me, and I let her know I was at the hospital. Okay, and then I will be following up with my doctor in a couple of days. Okay, first of all, I put my new tray with the white okra, jambalaya, and that jambalaya looked like it's dying. I don't know if it's going to survive or not, y'all. And then my sunflower is stressed. It's so leggy, I don't know how that's going to pan out. And it's another plant that I have that is dying. It's not in the new bunch, though. I think it was the ground cherry. Okay. But what I did was I decided I planted, first of all, I got I found dead seeds. I got the yellow patty pan, but I got the white patty pan that came up, but the yellow patty pan and the green patty pan did not come up. So I replanted it back there. I planted one yellow and one green at the back. I decided to plant 2 more jambalaya okras because, like I said, that one looks like it's going to pass. And I planted 4 more white okra. So I started them, and they are here in this extra seed tray. I also started, my white eggplant never came up. and my little finger eggplant didn't come up. When I looked at the days that it should have germinated, I should have had that at least a week ago, and it hasn't come up. So in the same dirt that I already had in there, I threw 2 more seeds in each, so we'll see. I didn't bother with the tiger melon nor the Minnesota melon, and those are failures too, crop failures. I didn't bother with them. And then I had 1 green bean that failed. Okay, and my lima bean failed, and so did my pinto bean. They haven't germinated. So I'm not going to worry about those. The only ones I wanted to get was the okra, and I would like to taste the other patty pan squash. So that's it as far as the seeds are concerned, and they are doing good. And I'm going to put this lettuce out this weekend. And that's another decision that I made as well, as far as the cold crops. Y'all know the cold crops are going to be moved to the keyhole garden, including that lettuce. Okay, now up front, I'm going to move the peas to the keyhole garden because I can take that trellis right with me. Or I could put the peas in a smaller container because only 4 came up. I think I planted like 8 or 9 seeds and only 4 plants came up. I thought it was 3, but a 4th had come up too. And the rest of them didn't. So, and they may, I don't know, but I'm gonna still take a chance. And I'm gonna move that cabbage that I have in the keyhole garden. I'm gonna move it to that big container because I want that cabbage to form a nice head. It's an early Jersey. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to cover it with 2, but I'll just move the peas on out of there. The other thing, too, I got the letter from the Grow Club. It's now called the Garden Club. First of all, they opened it up to where anyone can join it. Even if you're out of state, you could actually join it. You just pay the $15 fee, and you can join it. But, I mean, you guys are so far away, unless you decide to drive up this way and take advantage of different things, classes and things like that. So they announced that the soil and compost is in. So probably I said I would go. I'm not going to go tomorrow. I'm going to just take tomorrow off to just rest all day. But Thursday, I may go to get some soil. I want to fill up my pepper buckets. Remember those old tree buckets that I have, those big giant planters? That's where I plan to put a lot of my peppers this year. So I want to go I could take those with me and fill those up with the soil and compost and then amend once I get home. And also I have 6 buckets that I got, food grade buckets that I got from my local bakery for $2 a piece. I'll fill those up. I'm going to try to get that middle bed filled, that garlic bed. And I also need soil for a lot of my crates. Some of the crates have to be filled from beginning with the new bag. And some of the crates are already filled with soil, but I need to re-amend and add more soil to it. So I'm going to probably be making like 3 or 4 loads before it's over and done with. But anyway, I'm going to get ready to get off of here. I just wanted to fill you in on everything that's going on today. We're almost at 20 minutes, so I stayed below budget. But anyway, I'm starting to feel the antivert kick in again because I'm starting to get sleepy. So I'm going to get up from here and I'm going to go lay down and let this do what it does, okay? Oh, I'm working on a shawl too right here. My mother's best friend passed away 2 days after Christmas. Oh, I told y'all about that and that I got that yarn. So this is her shawl and I have only 5 rows to go. And then I have some extra. So I'm gonna go around it and make it a lot wider because I know it's long enough, 72 inches. But I'm gonna make it wider with that last skein of yarn. And then I'm working on a scrap yarn for myself. I had this thick purple, but it's not enough to make my traditional shawl. So I'm making a trashy shawl, as I call them. Remember, I gave away 7 of them last year at my birthday party. I raffled them off to my cousins, and I kept them all in the greenhouse, but I brought them in, washed them, and decided to raffle them off. So I'm just making one for this year because these keep the mosquitoes away. They really do. So I have purple. This is all of that. Then I have blue, and then I have pink. Then I have blue and pink together, and then I'll end it with the purple. So this is going to be pretty big once I'm done with it. So I took a break from Lisa's project to get mine started. So I'll get back with Lisa's and get those last 5 rows completed and then get it shipped off to her. And in the meantime, I'll get back to mine. That'll keep me busy for a while until the next project. Okay, so I'm going to get off of here now because, like I said, this antivert is hitting and my eyes are like, I'm nodding, okay? Like what you call it? You know how a drug addict or not? I'm doing the same thing because when this stuff hits, it hits. You feel normal when it's not hitting. And then as soon as it hits, you feel it all the way. So anyway, I'm going to get on off of here, and may God bless you all. Keep me in your prayers, and I'll do the same for you. Bye-bye.